We have on the phone with us a Tony nominee from The Drowsy Chaperone for Best Featured Actor, Danny Burstein. Danny, you there with us?
Yes, I am. Hey, David.
Danny, thanks so much for joining us. How has the Tony whirlwind been for you so far?
Oh, it's been wonderful. It really has been a lot of fun. So far,
yeah.
I was about to mention that the swag.
Well, what'd you get? What goodies?
Well, we got a free phone from Sprint for 3 months.
Is it one of those picture phones or just your?
It's a regular old cell phone. It's just crazy. The first thing I talk about is the swag.
That's okay. What else you get?
Visa gave us a nice gift certificate and that kind box of chocolates and flowers and lots of bottles of champagne. And
so it does pay to be a Tony.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And next year you could present and get that gift bag.
Oh my goodness, I heard those gifts are pretty outrageous.
Maybe you could host since no one's hosting this year. I think you should host in character too.
I'll put in my bid.
Well, why don't you tell the folks what your character is in The Drowsy Chaperone?
Well, I play Aldolfo, the crazy Latin lover who's he's not very good at being a lover, and he's not very good at being Latin either.
But that's because he's not really Latin.
No, he isn't.
That's what I love about that show. Everyone has a backstory.
Exactly.
And how are the cats doing, by the way? That's all I can think of when I think of your character.
Oh, you mean the poodle?
That's right. Oh, that's right. That's because my fear was being eaten by my cat after I died. The poodles, how are they?
Oh, wonderful. Glad to say hello.
Oh, so how did you approach that character? Did Bob Martin and the writers say to you, okay, we need a Latin lover who's like this, or was it sort of, here's Aldolfo, you create how he is?
That's basically what they did. They just said he was, they put European in quotes. And then, then they started to, and I started to do all sorts of different accents, and then one day they said, well, he was the Italian lover, and the next day they said he was the Latin lover, and so then the Latin lover stuck, but no matter what, I'm actually an actor, Roman Bartelli, playing this character of Aldolfo.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's supposed to be a master of many different accents, and all of them insulting. And so I had to make it big and bad and wrong and not very good. So you walk a very fine line trying to find what works with that. So I tried to make it Hispanic, Spanish with a big Latin kind of Cesar Romero kind of flair, but also a little bad too.
Well, come on, you gotta give us a taste.
I am Aldolfo.
I love it.
And you're my pick for Tony winner, by the way. I will be very disappointed if you don't get it.
Oh, God bless you.
I would say, what? You gotta do the what.
Yeah.
Do the what.
What?
I love that. It does like 5 times in the show, and it gets me every single time.
I was going home on the subway after a show the other day, and a woman came up to me. I don't know how she recognized me, but she came up to me and behind me and went, what? Behind me. Surprise.
And by the way, as you said, you were on the subway. You are a born and bred New Yorker.
I am. Originally from the Bronx, and then my family moved to Queens when I was about 7 or 8, and grew up and went to public schools, and then went to the High School of Performing Arts here in New York, when it was the High School of Performing Arts on 46th Street, and
otherwise known as the Fame School.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And then went to Queens College, and
wow, you didn't leave the city. So
no, I did. I went for my master's. I went to the University of California, San Diego.
Traitor.
So NYU wasn't good enough for you?
They didn't want me.
Oh.
What?
What?
Actually, the UCSD had a great program out there, and the La Jolla Playhouses and residents over there, and Des McAnuff was,
I was just going to say, my favorite
under his wing, and it was good.
But if you had gone to the Fame School, as it were, that means you chose pretty well early on.
Yeah.
When? I mean, what made it?
I did. Well, I was going to Parsons Junior High School in Flushing, and my teacher, Stuart Glazer, my English teacher, said, you've got something. You should really, and I was 13, he said, you should really audition for the High School of Performing Arts. And I said, that's great. What's the High School of Performing Arts?
Wow.
And he said, well, he explained it to me, and he said, you have to audition for it. And he said there are over 4,000 kids audition every year, and they accept about 120.
Wow.
He said, you have to do a couple of monologues. And I said, great, what's the monologue? And,
do you remember the monologues you chose?
Oh, gosh, good question. I did a monologue. I did two. I did one from Dead End, and I think I did the other one was from The Time of Your Life, I believe.
And how were the auditions? Was it really as frightening as it would seem?
Oh, it was terrifying. Yeah, I'd never done anything like it before.
Because you're so young to be put in that precious situation.
And you have these four very stern-looking teachers sitting in a room, and you just have to go in there and do your monologues for them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite a rigorous process.
And then you have to wait for the envelope at home?
Exactly right.
It's just like college, just 4 years earlier.
Exactly, and I was so nervous I couldn't open the envelope. I actually asked my dad to open the envelope for me.
Oh, how exciting, though.
When you came out of California and back to New York, what were your breaks? How did you get your name going?
Well, the first big thing I did was I did a revival of The Rothschilds off Broadway, Circle in the Square. Lonnie Price had directed the production, and it starred Mike Burstein. And
you're not related, right?
No, we're not. Actually, his name is Burstein.
Burstein, B-U-R. He was a guest on my show last year.
Well, he spells it with a Y.
Yeah,
he spells it with a Y. But his family, he comes from a family of actors, and they theatricalized the spelling of it and put the Y in. But it's originally spelled like my name, and so he was very, kind and took me under his wing and taught me a lot. And he said, I wouldn't be surprised if we are related. So he said he noticed a lot of things that I did, that he saw in his grandparents and things like that. So
wow.
Yeah.
And also, there's a Lonnie Price connection that goes on further because you were the standby for him on A Class Act, which was one of my favorite musicals of the last 10 years.
Yeah, it is a very, very special musical. And I was lucky enough to work on that show for a year.
Did you get on stage in it?
Oh, my God, a lot.
Oh, because he was out of it. Oh.
Yeah, well, you know what? He was writing the show, directing the show, and starring in the show.
Yeah.
And, it's quite an effort to do something like that. And
at some point, you need a vacation.
At some point, you just need to sit back and watch the show and take notes. And so I actually got to go on a lot, and it was a wonderful experience. Because the show is so special, and it's such a wonderful
role. Cast, too.
Oh, yeah, it was fabulous. I don't know why it flopped. I don't know why.
Well, it didn't really flop. I just don't. It's it's another very theater person show.
Yeah.
And if it's not big, it was in a time where you had to be big and splashy.
You're absolutely right.
And it wasn't big and splashy. It was a very intimate musical. It was very personal.
Yeah, and it might have fared better in a larger off-Broadway house. And where we could hold on to the intimacy, because it actually started at the smaller space in Manhattan at the Manhattan Theater Club.
Now, speaking of musicals that also didn't quite fare the way people thought they would, you were very directly involved in Barry Manilow's Harmony. What's the story on that? Where is it now? I
don't know where it is right now. I did the production, and my wife actually starred opposite me at that time.
Tell everyone who your wife is.
I'm married to Kitty Carlisle Hart.
You've used that joke before in interviews, and it still works.
How did you know that? I used it once before.
Well, it was the interview I read, so...
Oh, okay.
But no, not... Although Kitty Carlisle Hart is a lovely lady...
Yes, I adore her.
But to tell the truth...
I am married to Rebecca Luker.
Yeah, imagine, this guy gets to be on the funniest show, one of the funniest shows on Broadway, Tony nominated, and he gets to come home to Rebecca Luker.
I
Not
know.
bad, huh?
Marion the librarian.
Yeah.
Pinch me.
And the Secret Garden. She used to swing on the Secret Garden.
Gosh.
She was the original.
Yes, yeah. I remember.
Yeah. Is she a Tony winner? I should have looked this up.
She actually has not won. She was nominated twice for Showboat and for The Music Man.
Did she give you any tips on getting through all the next week or so?
Well, all I know is that when they announced my name, she jumped into my arms, and it was wonderful.
And you're not going to forget to thank her, are you?
Are you kidding?
Because some people did do that.
Well, if she gets nominated, then you have to jump into her arms. So that's
Exactly
going to be
right.
interesting. Yeah.
If I'm lucky enough to be, to win, which I don't think, I have I'm not preparing a speech, or anything like that.
Sure, you're not.
I'm not. I'm truly not. If that
Danny
happens to happen, then I'll just try and, speak from the heart, and I'm sure I won't forget her.
Speaking generalities, very quickly, because you only have like 30 seconds, right? I love you all.
The orchestra plays you off.
But Danny, if they announce you, if you do win, take a long time going up to the stage, because doesn't your time start when you get in front of the microphone?
No, actually, it starts as soon as they call your name.
Wow. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they told us. So we had some kind of a luncheon, Tony luncheon. They said, you have a minute and 10 seconds or a minute and 20 seconds from the time they call your name. So they encourage you to bound up to the stage as quickly as possible.
Do they at least put everybody on the aisles at least? I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, that's usually what they do.
So you're going to take time to kiss your wife before you go, or
of course. Give her one kiss and then slap hands as I run up.
And are you going to frame the certificates and put them together on the wall?
You know what? They give it to you framed.
Oh, really?
Already, yeah. They have the same kind of silver frame, and I must confess, they're already on the wall.
Yay!
All of them.
Well, please, I have the space all reserved. I'll never get anything, but it's all reserved.
Well, here you are at probably one of the best, knock wood, points of your life, certainly career-wise.
Yeah.
And also,
there better times coming.
Kids in life. Well, maybe, yeah. But I'm saying, was there a point in your career that you never thought it would get to this, where you thought, I'm going to give up and go be something else? And, you had to get someone to tell you, no, stick with it.
Actually, I never thought that I would ever do anything. Here's the sad truth is I'm not good at anything else. I love doing it, and I could never imagine myself doing anything else. There have been times where, after you finish a job, and every actor, will tell you this, after you finish a job, you get your last paycheck and you think, I'll never work again.
Oh, wait a second. How was Law and Order?
Oh, I've been on a bunch of times.
I know. Well, every New York actor's been on Law and Order. So you'll always work again as long as there's Law and Order.
Yeah, it's good. And this last year, it's crazy. This last year, I was in a movie called Transamerica with Felicity Huffman.
Oh, really? Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Were you a man or a woman? Or
I was a man.
But who were you in this?
I played her doctor at the beginning of the film, and I actually had a beard and glasses and that.
Yeah, oh my God, I would never recognize.
Yeah. I know, nobody ever does. And that's kind of the thing that I love about being an actor. I mean, my idea of being an actor is, people don't know who you are, and people don't recognize you as you walk out the stage door, and people didn't realize that was you in the film. And that's kind of a huge compliment to me. It means I'm doing my job. And
well, Danny, I just want you to know, I actually saw that film in Bangkok, Thailand.
Really?
It was playing in a really huge theater. It was well attended, and people loved it.
Oh, wonderful!
Well, half the people there were actually transvestites. Not that you
well,
can
actually, it is very big in Thailand.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised that they got the whole movie.
Yeah.
And they thought you were fabulous, by the way. They said, the doctor in the beginning, unbelievable.
Well, it was unbelievable.
When they first saw you on the screen, the whole audience en masse said, "What?" Because they knew.
This has to be a new calling card, right, Danny?
Exactly. So the neat thing about it was that they showed it at the Oscars as well. For that clip, I don't know why they chose that clip, but
because you were in it.
Maybe. Well, this year I'll be in the Oscars and the Tonys. So that's kind of cool.
But we want to hear you talk at the Tonys. I did.
Knock wood. Now, if you win, and
I did. That's right. I shouldn't give you a Kanahara. I'm sorry.
Hey, Danny would know what that word means.
Of course he would.
One last question for Danny Burstein before, unfortunately, we have to let you go.
Okay.
But yes, right now your life is occupied with A Drowsy Chaperone. It's been running for a few weeks, and God willing, it'll do great, and you'll stay with it. But what's on the horizon, and what kind of roles have you ever thought about playing?
What's down the road for Danny Burstein?
What's down the road? Actually, I have nothing lined up. I just did a workshop of Jason Robert Brown's newest musical that he's working on, Honeymoon in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And but that's who knows
based on the film?
Yeah.
Wow.
and written with Andrew Bergman, and it's kind of wonderful. And but you know, who knows when that'll happen?
But you ever want to leave this show? I think this.
Well, right now I'm very, very happy to be.
Because I love you. You're perfect in the show. Don't change.
Which I did for a year.
Yes, I know.
He wasn't an original cast member, but he came in after Jordan Leeds left, and he was there for quite a while.
Exactly.
And by the way, sorry, yes.
No, Jordan left after about, I think, after the first week or two, and they, and I took over for him right after they opened, and they asked me to do the original cast album.
Cool.
That was lovely too.
And I do have to ask, what is Rebecca Luker working on these days?
Well, she just finished her second gig at Feinstein's, and got some, just tremendous reviews for that. And this summer she's doing a new play by A.R. Gurney, who has become a friend of ours. I did a play of his at the Flea Theater with Sigourney Weaver and John Lithgow about a year and a half ago.
Oh, Mrs. Farnsworth, right?
Mrs. Farnsworth, exactly right. And she's doing a play of his called Indian Blood at Primary Stages this summer.
Cool. Yes, I read about that.
Yeah, Pamela Peyton Wright is in it, and John McMartin.
Wow.
And after she literally, I think she starts rehearsal while she's still in performances for that play for Mary Poppins, which she's going to be doing on Broadway in the fall.
Who's she going to be in Mary Poppins?
She's going to play Mrs. Banks.
Oh.
Yeah.
The mother.
Exactly right. They actually, Glynis Johns played it in the film.
Yeah, wow. Oh, you've been 2 hit shows at the same time.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Doesn't get better
Well,
than
do
that.
give her our best, too, because I love her, too.
Yeah, she's all right.
Ever since the Secret Garden swing.
Oh.
I just wanted to be on the swing.
I won't even ask. Okay,
That's right.
But Danny Burstein, it's been great swinging with you these past 15, 20 minutes.
Pleasure's all mine.
Best of luck next week. Best of luck in all your stuff, and congratulations on being in a really, really fun show.
Oh, thanks so much, Dave.
And thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.